Hello everyone. Well, we're here at Davis Cemetery, and Arnie and Cheetah and Soaring Eagle, who's camped on ahead about 8 tents, is setting out for Highway 42 in the Lickety Pavilion. It's going to be a long hike, long day, be a good test for them, around 11 miles.
Everybody have a blessed day. Get out and hike. All right, folks, I am headed up with Cheetah. And we've got I don't know if it's going to be, there's just lots of clouds up there, but it's not really overcast. A bit chilly, starting out with our gloves and climbing this hill to find Soaring Eagle 8/10 of a mile up there, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome day. Everybody, let's get going. You ready, Cheetah?
Get out and hike.
All right, here's a little in memory of Gordon Burgess, Path Trail Supervisor. Crossing this grate, which is concrete instead of metal bars. Good morning, world.
Good morning. Look at that sky. Woohoo, stay at that. Look at that sky there. Those trees?
Yes, beautiful. All right, we love these, don't we? Y'all know I love them. One of my favorite things about the Appalachian Trail.
Up and over.
This is what you go through when you have long legs, see? These were made for people like this. I mean, look at that, people, would you? Look at that. Cheetahs have long legs. So unfair. People like her designed these things.
You cut out 2 steps to them that way.
Yep, you do. If I did it, I would probably pull a groin muscle. Well, somewhere in the mix today, in the next 3 miles or so, we're at about 28:44, and we're going up to about 33 something. But there's ups, downs to get there. So we'll gain about 500, but we'll probably climb a total of 700 or 800. So we all agreed everybody was just going to hike their own pace. And when we get to 610, they're going to wait for me and make sure we still have enough time to do the last 2.5 miles to the Lickety Pavilion. You can't camp at the pavilion, but right next door to it, there's a campsite and parking. And it's a beautiful day to be hiking. Kind of one of those perfect days as far as the temperature, as far as for me anyway. And for a moment here on this uphill, we got to walk in the woods trail, so got no complaints about that. Wearing my oboe sawtooths again. Pretty much going to wear these all the time now. Any of y'all out there know that will admit that there are rocks in Virginia. Some pointy rocks that can really beat up the bottom of your feet. No, they're not like Pennsylvania. But anyway, if you know when they let up, let me know, so I can switch to my trail runners. And the trail runners have they're pretty good on the rocks, but not as good as these sawtooths. So anyway, but I do want to switch to them when I can. All it took is one day of wearing them around the house to know that I wanted to wear them on the trail as much as possible. Well, we're coming up on the Davis Farm campsite where G and I camped last year, and it's where I met Kiwi Wandering and got to interview him. Had a nice, he called it, what did he say? We had a nice little natter, I think was the term he used. There's somebody up here right now, so I'm going to turn this off, but turn it over this way. Anyway, there's a picnic table and some benches to sit on. There's the privy, and it's a nice little campsite. All right, 2,190 miles divided by 4 is 547.5, which means that would be the quarter-way mark, which we just passed. David Path campsite was at 547.9 per gut hooks. Of course, that's not a quarter for me, just, you know, because I skipped over 360 miles. But if they haven't changed the trail yet, according to Steve, the trail is going to take a new route up here, and it's going to open shortly, but he doesn't think it will be open yet today. So we will pass the sign that was put up in 2014 up here somewhere. Walking the woods trail. Beautiful. Looks like something a sculptor might come up with. Getting a little more clear as the day goes on this beautiful Easter morning, and there's the bright sun. Birds are singing. Woodpeckers are pecking. Beautiful day. You want sun? We got sun. Mountain laurel. I guess it looks good enough now, folks. Cleared out pretty good, hadn't it? Nice place to bump your head if you're not paying attention. I'm going pretty slow on the ups, and I'm not really pushing the downs like I'm able to on a more fresh day. Even though we've got these, you know, the long miles today, I just don't feel like I can get away with pushing myself that fast, or I know I won't make it the distance. So, but this is day 5, so we're going to have a rest day tomorrow. We're going to stay at the Appalachian Dreamer Hostel, made a reservation, and really looking forward to that. Oh yeah, and on the status of my muscles, I did want to go ahead and throw in that I rolled out my quads, calves, everything I could for a really long time last night, and I did really work on the painful areas, and then this morning, so more the compression during the night. So I really did everything I could do, and none of this concerns me. 5th day of hiking, I should feel like this. We haven't had any massive climbs, but we have had a lot of climbs, you know, over and over the total on the climbs, and we had to go over those rocks. And one day it was, you know, just real rocky. That was Cheetah's first day. So again, I mean, when she told me all the different things she's been doing, you know, and going into even the training that she did, she was already fit, very fit. So, and she did all the right things, knows kinesiology and physiology and all of those things, and had been told about the twisting and turning of the ankles. So she found ways to work all those muscles over a period of several months. So you take a really fit body. I mean, she is living proof that if you have a fairly fit body, you can prepare, as Early Riser's been saying all along, so that you can start out not fast, but you start out at your normal pace, and for the average person, that would be really fast. You know, he was able to get to Neil Gap in 2 days when he started hiking. I would say that she would have been able to do that and been fine. And what she hasn't had is 2,000, 3,000 foot elevations. But by the same token, she did her uphills and her sloping uphills over several hours, over and over and over. And so she has built up, you know, the stamina. So I mean, she really might be able to. I don't know. I told her it's probably good that she didn't meet me down there because I was so very slow. Down there, I'm still slow, but I was really slow. And she would have been bored to death. So at this point, it's each of us are hiking our own hike, and then when we get to camp, those who get there early get there early. I want to put the miles in, you know, and keep pushing myself. The whole goal in Virginia, like I said, 2 things. Number 1 goal, this body is going to hike 2,190 miles of the Appalachian Trail. And the goal for Virginia is do enough to push myself beyond the comfort and continue strengthening little by little, which is what my body seems to be willing to do. So that's the plan, and as I said in yesterday's video, just because we're college buddies and hiking together, I mean, if she falls in love with this and just really seriously wanted to go and do more, we would send her on her way with smiles and handshakes and keep up by texting. So, it ain't gonna happen for a while though, because for now it's partly about just she and I having time together. But she is not locked into staying with me. Don't forget to look behind you, folks. Don't forget to look behind you. Something you seldom see on the Appalachian Trail. Long and straight. Still got about 5 miles to go, and this 5 miles I should do faster than I did the previous, or about maybe the same pace as the previous almost 4 miles, unless the up gets real steep. So we'll see. Not a race. Just interest factor for how I'm doing. But I'm not doing bad today, considering, again, how fatigued my quads are. So I feel pretty good. How about y'all? Y'all feel good? Have you been out hiking? Who out there's been out hiking? I mean, I don't really have any heavy things to talk about today or any big deal things or whatever. Not really feeling all that creative. I'm enjoying hiking alone. Not feeling like I have to keep up with anybody, and just, you know, going at my own pace and enjoying this beautiful day. And the sun is now out, and the sky is, you know, blue with some clouds, but I would call it more sunny than cloudy at this point. Absolutely gorgeous day. Temperature is perfect, and so we're doing great. But what about you? Who's been hiking? And where have you hiked? Or who's been, you know, working out, getting ready to hike? What kind of things are y'all doing out there? I'd like to know. Those of you, especially those of you that have been commenting all along. Go ahead and put in the comments and let us know what you've been up to. So we're 5.5 miles into our trip. So basically halfway, I guess, in 4 hours. So 11 miles, if it turned out to be 8 hours, I could live with that. All right, there it is, folks, the sign. But look, someone's been kind enough to let us know what year that was. So no reason to get upset. We already passed the quarterway mark. The trail's longer now than it was then, I guess. Different routes. But anyway, in 2014, this would have been the quarterway mark. So anyway, Reed Creek. you come down here right by the creek to tent, for us we did, and it turned out to be a real cold sink and very humid cold. I believe we set our tent up right there where that fallen log is. And the creek is just the other side of it. So I wouldn't advise that in cold weather. If it's real hot, it'd be a great place to camp. Got your fire ring over here. Go down there and get your water. It's really a neat place. It was a neat place to camp, but you just need to get up a little higher if it's cold. So we are presently beginning about 1,000 feet up in about 1.75 miles. Obviously this is going to slow me way down. And then we're going to go back down about 1,000 feet in about 1.75 miles. That presently is very steep and rocky, so that's not going to be real fast either. And at some point here, we're going to pass a place that I guess Steve called the turnpike. And that may have been it back there, a junction. And they're switching or changing where the trail goes. And doing away with, I don't know if they're doing away with this steep uphill or if they're doing away with the steep rocky downhill or if they're doing away with both. But anyway, those of you who are coming up behind may be open by the time you get here. But I don't think it's open yet for us. So we're gonna trudge along, get this done as best we can without injuring ourselves, and just accept the fact that it's probably gonna slow us way down. All right. So after you pass that Reed Creek area, there's some more places over here on the left to camp. And these might not be as cold either just because they're not, well, I don't know, the creek is right over there, but it doesn't feel as cold here to me, or as cool as it did right down there by the stream where you get the water. Oh, this is interesting. Check this out. It says Crawfish Trail. They got all these branches over it. I wonder if there's any chance. I don't know. You know, I seldom sit and take breaks when I'm hiking these days, but this is just entirely too inviting. So, all right, the next hour has passed. We're at 6.7 miles. So for that hour, I did 1.2, which was a lot of down, and then we started this steep up. And we got pretty close to another mile of the steep up, so it'll be interesting to see what happens for this mile. All right, so we got 2 3s and a 2 to get to the top of this Walker Mountain, or the top. We're at the high point for the AT. I don't know if it's the top of the mountain, and that'll put us at about 3,525 feet or something like that. And we're at about 31 something now, so a little over 400 feet in about 0.8 of a mile. So it's got good switchbacks that, you know, keeps it at that grade, but it's steady up. I'm trying the old determined shuffle that I learned from Soaring Eagle, and I think it's actually helping me. Basically, that is a little bit smaller steps and instead of bigger steps is what it is. So she looks like she's having a good time. Yeah. How would you like to ride up here on the back of something? It'd be a little easier, but then you wouldn't be building those muscles, would you? So, but she says she's a polar bear. She's plenty strong. All right, let's keep on going up. Nobody home. Nobody home there either. All right, we're at mile 553.7 and about 35.27 on elevation. And going off to our left here, I do believe this is as high as we go on Walker Mountain. And it looks like the very high point of it is up a little bit more up there. But we are heading off to the left here. And I don't think we go up there. So we're going to start our downhill now. Well, we had a few big rock steps, pretty large ones, and then I think we're going to have some from time to time now, but there are not nearly as many, I don't think, as I remembered. I sort of remembered it doing this all the way down. But it looks like it's just every so often. So that is good. If that's the case, then we'll make a little bit better time. I'll leave that in. That's what trekking poles prevent you from, that's when trekking poles prevent you from falling. My feet got hung up in all those branches, and I was able to put the trekking pole down in front of me, which the camera's attached to the top of it, so that's why you were jerking around, and keep from falling that way. So I'm very grateful for trekking poles. Of course, maybe I would have been going across different if I didn't have them. But they also, for me, help take the stress off my knees on the downhills, and help pull me up on the uphills. So, and then give me some exercise for my arms and my hands, my forearms, my shoulders. Really the entire arm shoulder area, because I really do use them. So anyway, would have been a face plant. See a little red strip around the tree, that's the sign for private property. Basically means don't camp here. So we'll go this way. Well, I'm getting a little clumsy here. Guess I better pay attention and be careful. And we walk between two farms, basically, I think. All private property out there. Beautiful pasture. Little alleyway they've given us in here. Well, I am seeing the van down there, so does that mean Bob decided we don't need to hike that far? Maybe it does. Here's our little sign up here letting us know take a left through this pasture to the AT through the pasture, and you can see the van down there. So